The reasons they're trying to contact you may not be the reasons that you think. And we're going to break them down. I'll tell you the real reasons why they're trying to contact you all of a sudden. Because I see so many people go through this. We just came off Easter and Passover for some of you, especially when it's a holiday. I hear about it. Well, he tried to contact me. He tried to. My pronoun is he for a romantic partner. So that's what my stories go. Please insert your own. But tried to contact. Yeah, I'm going to tell you why. We're going to break down why. They're going to tell you, I miss you. I've had time to think it through. You haven't been around. I didn't realize until you weren't around how much I'd miss you and value your I love you. Don't you understand? I'm so sorry. I'll change. I promise you I'll never do any of those things again. I'll do anything you want. I'll go to therapy. We'll get married. We'll vacation in Tuscany. What happened on the other part of their life is somebody just broke up with them. Somebody rejected them. They had a fight with the girlfriend they have now. Again, my story follows the he pronoun for romantic partner. Insert your own to make the story your own. Something went awry. And you might say, well, what do you mean? I just had a great weekend and he came back to me and he told me all those things you just said. They will say, and I'm not downtrodden and bitter. This is clinically proven with the thousands at this point videos I've watched. They will say anything to win. They will say anything to get their way. Their way right now is to try to contact you. So you're not answering, they're hoovering you, you're not answering because say you've gone no contact and you're trying not to answer the phone. They left 30 messages and you're like, what the heck? He really wants to talk to me. They will poise it as they really want to talk to you. They're calling other people at the same time if there's more numbers on their roster, which there always is. And who is going to end up in their company that night or the next day or whatever is the person that bites. Again, I am not bitter. This is not that. This is how they operate. They've been injured over here, either by a fight or an argument or a breakup, or maybe they were discarded, right, by new supply after you. They went out with this person and that's blown up. I told you mine would come and contact me every month for like a year. It was always after a big fight they had. I didn't realize he had a girlfriend. We'd have coffee, whatever, and then sure enough, the whole time he's been texting and then they patch it up and off they go. So you answer the phone, before you know it, they've already patched it up with the person with whom they had a fight, and now they might not even get back to you. You leave them a message finally to their 30, they're already back together with the other person. I encourage you, if somebody who has mistreated you is suddenly trying to come back into your life, I would at least, if you can't maintain no contact and you're like, I'm gonna break, I just ask you at least to wait as long as you can. As long as you can. 3 days, 5 days, a week. I used to go Sunday to Sunday. I can make it to Sunday. I can make it to Sunday. I can make it to Sunday. I used to count this. I used to go by Sundays. And you know what? If you ignore them, most of the time, they drift off to sea. And they'll stop calling you. Or like I said, the second you dial them back, boom, that's all they wanted. They wanted to see that they could get you back on the phone. That's the real reason. They want to know that you're still available. They're down in the dumps. Can they still turn to you? Are you still available to ease their pain? To have them over for a drink? To meet them out for dinner? They can't be alone. They certainly can't be alone if they've just had an injury in some capacity with their partner after you, and now they need supply. They don't have the tools to self-soothe. They don't have the tools to self-soothe. So they need company, companionship. So there they are, calling. And they're convincing you up one side and down the other that they want to marry you. And he learned. I heard myself saying it. Well, he said everything, he told me. I hear myself now and I'm just like, oh my God. Of course they said everything you want to hear. They've been listening to you the whole time, collecting the intel. They know what's gonna make you swoon. They did it before. They love bomb you in the beginning. They know exactly how to get to you. So they're hoovering, leaving messages, da-da-da-da-da. And if you ignore them long enough, by the end, don't the messages get nasty? Isn't that funny how that happens? So wait a minute. So the first 30 messages, you were lovey-dovey, I love you, let's vacation in Tuscany. And by the 39th, now you're calling me names because I didn't answer. So they wanted to control the situation. So I didn't answer him. I had that many times, 50 messages in a row over one night. I wake up in the morning, I'm like, oh yeah. And some nights I watched the phone ring, turn the volume off, I watched all the messages get left. And I would maybe call the next, what is going on? I should not have done it. I don't do that, you know. I don't regret my path. I learned everything I did because I made the moves I made. But I'm trying to save you the trouble. The real reason they're calling you is not the reason you think. And what it kills me to know is that they do still dupe people. Because I was duped. When you are in love and you're half in, half out, even if you broke up and they've moved on, they start contacting you. Your heart is in your. They called me, and it's all you can do to not answer. Try it once. Hold off. The name calling starts at the end. You're just like the rest of them. So the first 30 messages when you were loving me, so you didn't really mean those then. Some of those aren't really real. But if I answered, then what? Then you meant those, but I didn't answer, so now I'm being name called? And what treatment will you put up with? I don't ever want to be name called. Not 1 second for the rest of my life, ever again, ever. Not even in a fight, never. There's no reason for it, ever. You can healthily communicate your differences. People, oh, everybody fights. No, you don't have to fight. You can disagree, of course. You're two different people from two different upbringings, from two different areas of the country. Of course, you're not going to agree on everything. But you have to fight? You have to call names? We're adults. It's like a kid on a playground throwing rocks at me. I'm not doing it. So when they start calling you and making you all these promises, and blah, blah, I want you to think it through, and I want you to wait it out. See what the end of the messages are if you don't get back to them. Because it drives them nuts. The whole point is to get the win. The win is you picking up or calling them back. And you've all had it happen. I've had it told to me in private coaching, and I've had it told to me in the audience, where they do the 39 messages, you finally call them back, and then they're in the wind. They don't call you back. That just happened 2 weeks ago. Somebody told me about that. He couldn't wait to get a hold of me. I finally and then of course he's in the wind. Something got patched up, or they met somebody else who's filling their supply. Something happened. They got their needs met somewhere else. They didn't actually mean the first 30 messages of love, the vacationing in Tuscany, the house wherever you expressed you wanted that they're promising you. And they're going to put it in your name, and we're going to get met. No. They're laying it on thick because they are in a desperate situation because something went awry elsewhere in their life. And, you know, I've had people say, well, that's awfully bleak. Maybe somebody does mean that they miss. Maybe they separate from you and they do miss me. Yes, a healthy person, that can happen all the time. Yep. People separate and realize, oh, wait a minute. No, we really belong together. That can happen with healthy people all the time. And yes, you can believe that person calling you and telling you their feelings and I miss you and we've been apart and it took us being apart for me to realize I love you. Can happen. Absolutely can. With a narcissist, that's not what's happening when they're saying those things. It feels the same as a healthy person saying it. It sounds the same as a healthy person saying it. You want to respond as you could with a healthy person saying it, but it's not. It's manipulation. It's a toxic person saying it. Again, I'm not being bitter. These are just the facts. If your person is calling you desperately and misses you and they aren't a toxic person, this isn't the video. Don't ignore that person. Oh my God, how nice of you. Da-ba-ba. It's a healthy individual. They were kind to you. They weren't disrespectful. They didn't mistreat you. You just went your separate ways to figure things out. Of course, pay that person proper mind and respect. I spit again. You guys know I get so mad. Because I hear it from too many people. Well, he said this and he said that. Of course he did. Of course he did. Of course he did. He wants to win. He wants you to answer. That's the win. You answering the phone is the win. They got you to answer. They have a roster. They have a Rolodex we used to have when we were younger. Young kids won't even know what that is. But there's a Rolodex in their phone. Mine told me right out he doesn't lose any numbers. So he has a fight. This, I'm sure he did this. Send. 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 And whoever gets back to them is the one that he'll keep on the phone for a few hours to deal with his misery. He's not going to talk about the fight with the girlfriend, but he's going to flirt with you, make you feel good, let you laugh at his jokes, make you flirt back, and now they feel better. And then they move on. And then they're dust in the wind. That's not what that song's about, so it really doesn't make sense. But you know what I'm saying. I want you to be aware of this, you guys. We just came off the holiday, and I had more than one person get hoovered for Easter. And I want you aware of it when it happens, and I want you to put your value first and just hold off before you run and answer that phone. Just assess the situation accurately. All right, I'll see you guys Wednesday.